Hold up, I forgot to grab the link to put it over on the other thing. Shoot! Shoot, guys! Hang on, wait for it. Coffee talks. Let's go. Uh-oh. No. Edit. No. Today. Here we go. Yay, I think it's working. I think it's working. Yay! Awesome. Hello. I'm Brandon Postman. Welcome back for another edition of Coffee Talks. Now, I know it is 5:05 p.m., but this is my first coffee of the day brewing right here. I already poured myself a glass, and I'm feeling all right. I was up late last night and the night before, so I slept a lot last night. And then I woke up, did some stuff, ate some pancakes straight from Pancake Planet, and proceeded to sleep some more. Took like a 4-hour nap. So really, this is me waking up for the day. Hence the coffee. All right, so let's talk. Today, I want to talk about my relationship with the chemical dopamine. Now, what you may have been told about dopamine is that it's the pleasure chemical and that's partially true. There's other pleasure chemicals as well. So, for example, maybe you've heard about oxytocin, which was in fact the name of one of my albums that I made a demo for at one point. Oxytocin is more known as the love chemical. When you cuddle with someone, both of you release an intense amount of oxytocin, and then your bodies learn to like each other by this chemical signaling. Well, dopamine is another pleasure chemical, and when you think about it this way, here's how dopamine worked back when we were hunters and foragers. You go into the forest, you eat a berry that you find on a bush, and when you eat the berry, you get a rush. You taste it and you're like, yes, this is delicious, and your body releases this dopamine. And basically what the dopamine translates to is more. Your body wants more. Because, back in the day, when you found a berry, that was like, oh shit, that's that good shit right here. We need to stay here in this zone, look for more of these berries, and we're going to fucking eat them all. We're going to eat all of these berries because we can't find these berries all over the place. We're not growing these berries yet because we're just hunters and gatherers. So our body learned that you can stay in one spot and eat these berries. And so it gave us this chemical signal that told us, yes, stay here, more. Don't leave, have more. That was a great evolutionary tactic for us. However, it has become a little antiquated here in the modern age when things are pretty relatively easy to get a hold of. Instead of having to wait for the berries to grow on the trees or finding the berries that are already grown on the trees, we go to the tree that is Walmart and we expend tokens to get the berries off of the trees. The tokens are a new addition to the system. I'm still split on, in-game purchases. I don't know how I feel about in-game purchases yet. So, dopamine. That's what we're here to talk about. So when I buy the berries from the grocery store versus the berries off the tree, my body feels the same way about them. In both cases, they say more. Now, in the hunter-gatherer scenario, I run out of berries eventually. And the tree that is Walmart, as long as I have tokens, I can keep getting more berries. They are almost unlimited in supply. And so it's not just the berries that cause this dopamine reaction, this want for more and more and more. It's anything that your body likes. And so dopamine is released when you consume a lot of different things that your body finds pleasurable. And the biggest one is heroin. This is why it's so difficult to quit heroin, is because when you consume it, your body goes into ecstatic bliss and it screams, whoa, more, please, more. Just won't shut up about wanting more. And that's why a lot of people die. Heroin in small doses is dangerous, yeah, but it's this constant need to have more that really makes it a dangerous drug. Cocaine also causes a huge dopamine reaction. That's why cocaine is so addictive. Basically, the more that a substance triggers your dopamine, the more addictive it's going to be. And now that has come into marketing. In economics, if you have something that the people can't get enough of, you sell more, they want more. And as you create more, they keep wanting more and more and more and more. More is the word of the day. More. Speaking of more, let me have a little bit more coffee. Wonderful. Wonderful substance. I get a dopamine reaction when I sip my coffee. So here's what's happening in the world today in terms of dopamine. We talked about back in the hunter-gatherer days, we talked about extreme cases, but here I'm talking about this is how the average person interacts with dopamine on a daily basis. Here's some things that are going to trigger their dopamine. Coffee. And the big one. Okay, two big ones that are different now than they had been in the past. Sugar. Sugar was not easy to find for our hunter-gatherer brethren. Hang on, let me send a text. Sugar is where we were at. Hold up, wait a minute, put a little love in it. Oh. Sugar. Talking about sugar. All right, so sugar was difficult for our hunter-gatherer brethren to find, was the last thing I said. Sugar is now not so hard to find. We have mass-produced sugar, and it is freaking crazy how much sugar there is available now. And back in the day when we found those berries, they had a little bit of sugar in them. And that's what caused the dopamine reaction. Your body goes, ooh, a little bit of sugar. I want it. I want a little bit more. But now we drink a Pepsi Cola, and that's got a lot of sugar in it. And you drink it, and God, those things, if you don't have sugar for a long time, and then you have a Pepsi Cola, it is incredible how sweet those things are. I went on a cleanse for a while where I ate no added sugars, only natural sugars from fruits and vegetables. And when I found my way back to a Pepsi Cola at one point, I decided, I want to try, what is a Pepsi Cola anyways? And I drank one. I was like, God, so sweet, just exorbitant sweetness. But once I drank it, my body wanted more. That 34 grams of sugar isn't enough anymore. And so we keep pushing for more and more and more. And this is, when I was in high school, this was we'd have gaming parties. Gaming is another thing that when you're doing well in gaming, it's a thing that rewards you immediately. It tells you kill-tastic when you get 4 kills in a row or whatever. When you hear the announcer say that, your brain goes, oh yeah, hell yeah, reward circuits, activate. I'm so good. Kill-tastic. And then I want more, and then I drink another Mountain Dew. And I can't tell you how many nights I drank like 10, 12 cans of Mountain Dew and played video games all night when I was like 17. It was insane, and I think it damaged me permanently. And the come down from dopamine is ridiculous. All right, so here, I was starting to list a couple of today's big dopamine themes. So sugar, I got to sugar. Now I've mentioned gaming. Video games are another one. And I am guilty of this yet. I am addicted to Tetris. I believe Tetris is on this screen right now. I got a rocket ship. Just a little one. But hey, it's a rocket ship. Think about how much this is setting off my reward circuits right now. Oh, this music just fills my soul. Check out my high scores. It's a little blurry. Anyway, 390,000 is my high score right now. This D-pad's a little bad. I think I could do better if I had a better D-pad. Anyways, as you can see, once I start thinking about Tetris, about video gaming, I get distracted because that's what dopamine does. You were thinking about one thing, coffee talk, telling these people about this possible distraction circuit that might derail their life and their meaning. I love to put together a studio and record an album, but then, oh wait, fuck, Tetris, Tetris is here, sugar is here, I could just watch porn all day. Let's do it. Porn is another huge dopamine reactant. You start doing it, and you just want more, and you want more weird shit. You'll start out watching the vanilla stuff, boy on girl action, and then you discover tributalism, and it's all downhill from there. And you start wanting more. More. And there are men who become addicted to pornography, and women. This is not just a male problem. Men and women becoming addicted to pornography, and they just can't get out of the house because they have the internet there, and that's all they want. And so here you have these people, all people here, especially first world. In the first world, we've made access to dopamine reactants So simple. You can go to the store, you can get sugar. You can go on the internet and play a video game. You can watch porn online for free. You can get drugs. Heroin is so easy to get, from what I hear. I've never tried. But I know that cocaine's easy to get because I see how many of my friends are getting it. Tried it. It wasn't for me. So, cigarettes. This is why cigarettes are so addictive. Nicotine sets off a big cascade of dopamine. Not as bad as cocaine. Not as bad as heroin. But nicotine is certainly a dopamine reactant. So is caffeine to an extent. I'm down to one vice. This is the thing that keeps me up at night. When am I going to get that next cup of coffee? Anyway, getting distracted again by dopamine. Here's what happens. Here's what happened to me today. Here's why I'm probably not going to get anything done today. This morning, I woke up and I went to the kitchen and I made myself some breakfast. And what did I make? Well, last night I played at this virtual open mic night and I covered my buddy Nicholas Devaney. And he has this song called Orbeez, and the hook of the song is about Pancake Planet. Pancake Planet. That's sort of the theme of the song is you get pancakes and then you don't want anything else. And that is the story of my life today. I woke up and I made myself a stack of pancakes with organic maple syrup. And what more could you want out of life than that? And even if you don't consciously think that, your body sets off this dopamine reaction and it's like, oh, fuck, I want more. But if I just keep eating more of these pancakes, then I'm going to explode. So instead, my body gets to this realization where it's like, oh no, if I do that too much, then I'll die. But I want more. And so you get this dissonance. And that's when I want a cigarette. And I'm laughing at that, but it's not a joke. It's for real. When I have a lot of sugar, or lately it's bread. When I eat white bread, people are always trying to help me out. They know I'm having me a struggle right now. They know I don't have a lot of money, and they see how much I just eat oatmeal all the time, and they think that they can help me out by getting me some bread so that I don't have to eat so many oats. I want them to understand first that I love eating oats, and I would rather eat oats than eat bread anyways. But you try not to turn down a gift, and I've been gifted a lot of bread recently. So when I eat white bread, the enriched flour in there sets off a lot of dopamine. That's why they use so much of it. That's why they put high fructose corn syrup in everything. High fructose corn syrup is just a fancy name for sugar. Fructose. Anything that ends in that ose, glucose, fructose, sucrose. These are sugars. And they all make you want more. And that's why they put them in, that's why when you go to the store, look at the ingredients on that yakisoba, pre-prepared, microwave Chinese dinner. There's high fructose corn syrup in there. It's because they want you to want more. Speaking of more. So I woke up this morning and I had me a plate of pancakes, and I doused it in syrup, a lot of sugar there, more healthy sugars than the worst ones, but still a lot of sugar. And then what do I want more than that? There's nothing that could be better than that plate of pancakes, as far as my body's chemical signaling can be. Unless I smoke a cigarette, or unless I watch porn all day, or unless I, do some coke or shoot up some heroin. Dopamine never goes away, or at least it takes a long time to go away. And so, once you have a bad reaction, you're not going to stop wanting more. You're going to have to suffer to get past it. You're going to go through a big come down from dopamine. And I recently did a dopamine detox day. Here's what I did. I left out one of the big dopamine reactants for people today. And I left out because I've been avoiding it much more recently. Social networking. You get very fast rewards on social networking, and that's why it becomes so addictive. That's why you can just keep scrolling your Facebook news feed. Oh, Cheryl did something funny. Look, Dad. Scroll. See, I got that reward. And now that tells me, oh, if I keep going down this feed, I'll get a little bit more. A little bit more, a little bit more. Bob, that's hilarious. Politics? I don't like that. Oh, here's a comic. Let me read it. Point made. So, dopamine. Social networking is one of these sources of dopamine. And I decided I needed to see what my brain was doing without dopamine. What'll happen if I don't do any dopamine reactant stuff for a day? So this was like 2 weeks ago on a Monday. I woke up and I did not turn my computer on. I did not turn my phone on. In fact, I turned my phone off. I set an alarm on my phone, woke up, turned it off. So no computer, no phone, no internet. For breakfast, I had a bowl of plain oats. I think I might have actually had an omelet, but I didn't, Either way, the rest of the day was oats. I did not eat pancakes. I didn't eat any sweets. I had a little bit of fruit with my breakfast in the morning. That was it. That's all the sugar I ate that day. I think it was a tangerine cup. I didn't jerk off. It's a big one. I definitely, I haven't had a cigarette since April. I haven't had any nicotine since early May. I haven't smoked weed in a while. I haven't had a drink since Christmas. How many days since Christmas?
It was 211 days ago.
What's Pokemon number 211?
Here's what I found.
It's Quillfish. We're Quillfish days since I had a drink. So none of that. I didn't do any of that on my dopamine detox day. Fitting. American Spirit just sent me an email. Signed up for those coupons one time. Saved like $8 on cigarettes. It was a good day. And I certainly didn't play my Game Boy that day. I was allowed to do 4 things that day. I was allowed to meditate, reflect, journal, and walk. And I did a lot of walking. I went on a hike in the woods, and I do love me some beautiful nature. But I have been so overdriven with pleasure being on the internet. I can just scroll Facebook for hours, scroll Reddit for hours. I'm so accustomed to pleasure now and to easy pleasure that this walk in the forest and enjoying the sights of nature didn't excite me the way it used to do because I am numb. I'm numb to pleasure at this point. And by 1 mile into my hike, I had a headache. And I took some time. I found this little beach in the middle of the forest, beautiful river beach, incredible, incredible sight. Uh, I spent some time just unwinding, and I ended up hiking 5 miles that day, and then I went home and took some breaks here and there to meditate, to write in my journal. And when I went home at like 8 o'clock, I laid down in bed. I was so tired, and my headache became unbearable. I wanted that sugar, I wanted that caffeine, and I wasn't allowed to have it. I wasn't going to break my stride. So I just went to bed, miserable. And I really appreciated how mean of a drug dopamine is that day. I realized how much I have a problem with it. And so I am thinking that in the future, I'm going to do more of these dopamine detox days. I'm going to starve myself of every pleasure seeking activity. Because if I just keep allowing myself constant, unabated pleasure, then there is no motivation for me to grow, for me to create, for me to be better. Well, if you've got your pancakes, then what more do you need? So abstain from the pancakes. Today was a pancake day. After how successful the last couple days have been, I thought I deserved the pancakes, but now I kind of regret the pancakes, is the truth of it. I'm not going to have pancakes again for a little while. And I'm thinking that going forward, I need to change the way I use my dopamine. For example, the pancakes should be a reward. And when and this is definitely inspired by, I trained my dog Sadie to do what I wanted her to do, poop outside, sit and stay, lay down, stay down when people are coming in the door. You want her to stay down, not be jumpy. How do you train her to do that? You make her realize that there is a reward on the other end of doing the thing you want to do. So it's a key thing to tie these dopamine reactants as a reward. They are gonna set off my reward system whether I like it or not. So I need to make sure that I can abstain from the dopamine until I can consciously say, yes, I am giving myself this dopamine as a reward, just like how I give Sadie the treat as a reward. Now, I hold the treats when it's Sadie. I keep an eye out for when she's doing good, and I throw her the treat when she deserves it. It's much harder when I hold the treats that I need to abstain from for myself. If you've got the pancakes in hand, you can just eat them and be satisfied. It's much harder to say you can have these pancakes once you have accomplished this thing. So here, let me try this right now. For broadcasting for 30 minutes on a coffee talk, I think I deserve another cup of coffee. And I have indeed talked for 30 minutes now on this topic. So I'm going to reward myself. I'm going to pour myself another cup of Joe. Slowly, so it cools down as I do it. That's why I'm doing the glass jar. It cools down faster. Beautiful. And now, let me really consciously absorb what this cup of coffee means. This is a reward to myself for being here with you people, for creating content. I really want to tie my reward circuits to the creation of content. If you put the reward first, you never get to the content. I need to make content be a barrier that holds me back from my rewards. And once I break through the barrier, once I create content for the day, I reward myself. I created a lot of content yesterday and also set up my whole rig so I can create more content more easily. That's why I gave myself the pancakes today, the reward, the dopamine, the sugar. Today, I've been slow going, but I did this. I got my coffee talk in. For that, I want to reward myself. So here we go. My cup of coffee, which is still too hot to drink. I'm just going to do the little sip thing. Wonderful. I know I'm happy. So going forward, it is 5:36 today. I've got a couple more hours on my day. And I'm not quite sure how I'm going to spend them. I'll say this. I think tomorrow I am going to go busking. If the weather's okay. I have another problem right now, which is my internet has suddenly changed. I was getting about 20 megabytes download and 10 megabytes upload. Now I'm getting about a half a megabyte download, but I'm still getting the 10 upload. So my feed coming to you is probably pretty decent. But if I tried to download a video, even loading a forum right now is slow. Slow. Very slow. Even I can't even update my weather radar. By the time it loads, I'm getting rained on. True story. So, plan going forward for the day. I'm going to do a meditation. Get myself centered. At least recognize, it's probably going to be a rough meditation, at least recognize what the pancakes are doing to me. And maybe I'll try to write some music on my Game Boy. But in the meantime, just getting this coffee talk in was difficult today because I gave myself the pancakes first thing in the morning. I think I need to make pancakes a dinner food. My breakfast foods, those are straight up oatmeal, peanut butter. Maybe eggs. A lot of eggs too. Especially with like onions and mushrooms. Not a ton of sugar there. So I've been doing these egg scrambles. good, fulfilling food for the day. I think I've gone on long enough about this. Really want to make sure that you guys understand dopamine's a big problem for me right now. And I feel like I'm constantly distracted. My phone just went off. Distraction. My Game Boy's sitting here. Distraction. I'm thinking about playing Tetris when I'm done. But I'm not going to play Tetris when I'm done. I'm going to meditate. So I'm going to go do that now. I'm sorry for the countless distractions I've gotten during the course of this episode. It's dragged it on. But I feel like that has added to the understanding of what I'm talking about. So here I go. Thanks for being my patrons, and I love you guys. All right, here I go. For real, and definitely llamas. Definitely forever. Absolutely. Thank you so much, and I'll see you tomorrow or the next day. Probably tomorrow. Llamas forever.